past 2 days have been quite the roller coaster, should we say? See, I originally I came to the ship to start as the ship's new mechanic. But that did not end up happening. When I arrived, I was informed that I actually was fired because apparently they got a new mechanic named Sammy. Now, I did not trust this Sammy, and I was also very offended. But they did say I could have a free cruise for my trouble. So free cruise is free cruise, and Gaia, the galactic superstar, is here, and I had to see her. So obviously I had to do that. So I said, all right. So I came on the ship, and then I may or may not have gotten access to the engine room by questionable means. And after getting access to that, I saw Sammy, their new mechanic. He was not good at it. Everything was broken, which was a sign of things to come. So I had to fix all of that for him again and again and again to keep things running smoothly. But it all went well, and then more and more things started to happen. This First Order dude, Lieutenant Croy, he showed up to the ship. And let me tell you, he is a character. But First Order is scary, so I pretend like, this is great. Hello, hi. He knew me, I knew him. It was a thing. So that was that, but I also met people like the captain, the cruise director, and it turns out a little later down the line I'd find out some things about them. They started sending me these transmissions of things to go and do, and I started to go and do them, hacking things and things like that. And Gaia's the manager. I think his name is Ralph, I believe. Oh my, he is quite the character. He sent me on this mission to go get schematics for this crystal down on Batuu, and a lot of other people sent me a lot of other missions to do on Batuu as well. Oh my, it was quite the sight, quite the adventure. Then, when I got back to the ship, that is when things started to go down. The second I got back, a droid named SK, poor thing, Sammy had to lock him up. And somehow, though he isn't a great mechanic, he knew how to do that, which is a bit sad. Suspicious. But we ended up seeing him unbolted. Then I, put away my things, and next thing I know, I see Rey. The Rey. I was astounded. What was Rey doing here? What was she doing? I just built her lightsaber on Batuu. I'm not supposed to say that in public. That's why I didn't mention it before. And I did a lot of other illegal things, but we don't need to talk about that in a public area. It's contraband here, so. But, barring that, what? Yes, I helped her. I told her I was a mechanic, and she asked for my help, and of course I gave it to her. I was able to help her repair the thing. I scouted out what was going on the bridge for her, found out that we were being attacked by TIE fighters of all things. The First Order kept getting more and more involved, and that was scarier and scarier and scarier. So, then Rey needed me to do something to help out Gaia. And so we went to the bridge, yes. And I used my mechanic skills, of course, to fix all of the damage that kept happening to the ship. Why were we in the bridge? For a surprise party, of course, nothing. Just a surprise party for Gaia and 30 years of flying. But that's the cover story. What really happened was that we had to smuggle in some coaxium, the power source, in order to help Gaia get her, the luggages. Well, long story short, people are not great with luggages here, so I had to do that. But before I could finish that, I was called to dinner. And dinner was amazing. It was so delicious. Then, out of the blue, once I leave, I see Sammy running to the climate simulator that simulated the planet of Batu, which is the planet that we were on, of course. And he was stressed, and I was like, why are you stressed? Did the engine break again? He said the ship was being shut down. I said, the ship is being shut down? Why is it being shut down? No one knew what was going on. Nani's boyfriend, who I'll get to later, that was one of my favorite parts. I love Nani. But the ship's being shut down. I said, what? And then next thing I knew, the ship all went red, and it went, ooh. And it was, oh my, it was something else, I tell you. But, and here is the but. Next thing I know, Kylo Ren, Rey are fighting. Lieutenant Croy is shouting things, as he always does. I'm being pointed out, and I'm trying to use the Force to the best of my abilities, because Rey actually showed me a holocron, which was insane beforehand. I'm sorry, I'm telling the story out of order. But it was quite the thing. Long story short, I saw the battle, I helped as much as I could. I cracked a few jokes to try and lighten the mood, and the battle was over. But I'll show you the damage to the ship. All of that. Now, I think, from what I've told you of Sammy, turned out, and I found this out after the battle began, or during the battle, Sammy was a resistance person, because the resistance was here and it was a whole thing. That's why the First Order came, obviously. But Sammy isn't a real mechanic, which explained all the problems in the engine room. And there is no way in hell he'd be able to fix what's over there. So, with that logic, I obviously went up to my favorite cruise director, Lenka, and I said, hey, I'm pretty sure I was supposed to be the mechanic you hired. And then fired immediately once I got on board. So she said, we need a mechanic to fix that. She was like, oh, we can't find no mechanic really knows how to fix lightsaber damage. Obviously, that's not something most mechanics know how to do. But as a girl from Tatooine, there's a lot of lightsaber activity there. And I had a lot of clients from Tatooine because they knew I could do that. So I am able to fix that mess over there. And I got my job back. So, barring a few misadventures that I shouldn't talk about in public, that was my journey on this ship. And now, this ship will be the place of my work. Crazy, isn't it? Well, I just thought I'd do a little video to show everyone who's back home on Tatooine what I did the past 2 days, because I'm sure they were very curious. This will be uploaded to the HoloNet, hopefully, by tomorrow. And by this time you're seeing this, it would be today, and if you see that after, it would be the next day. You know what I mean. Now, it was a lovely cruise, so many moments, so many wonderful moments, and there's so many things I left out that I cannot wait to tell you about once I get some time off from fixing that mess over there. But, as we say on this ship, have a good journey. And that thing is going to be very hard to fix.